and start over. Okay, based on the congruent statement, UV are the first two letters, TS is the first two letters. I'm going to label those the exact same way. There's UV, there's TR. Whoops, I marked it incorrectly. So let's do that correctly then. TS is equal to UV. So now I have it labeled correctly. So now I know my equation for X. And I can just throw it over there. So hopefully that wasn't too bad. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and erase some stuff up here. All right, so let's take a look at the second two letters. That would be VW's, the second two letters. I'll go ahead and mark that twice. And SR are my second two letters. So SR, and now I know which two pieces are equal, and that's how I could get Y. So this would be 5Y minus 33 equals 57. That wasn't too bad, was it? I'm just using the congruent statement. So I'm going to erase that. Now I should know which two sides are left. There's only two sides left, so they got to be equal. So now I know how to find Z. 3Z plus 14 equals 50. And there you are. That wasn't too bad. Knowing that congruent statement. Know how to work it. Okay, I'm moving on. Okay. Now, one thing I want you to take into consideration here is that you are working with angles. Now, interior sums of triangles add up to 180. Let's refer back to number 6. These are sides. They do not add up to 180. They could, but we do not use 180 unless it tells us. Sides can add up to whatever they want. Angles must add up to 180. Okay, so these are angles, so I'm going to go ahead and see. I'm going to go ahead and label some stuff to help me. So P and C are the first two. So I know P and C, and right now I have an equation that I can make for Z because those two pieces are equal. So right now I know this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and solve for Z because I might need it to plug it in. So I'm taking that 36 plus 32, divided it by 4, and get 17. So I might need it. So I'm going to have it handy just in case. Okay, so Z is done. You don't have to go in order. I'm just starting with my letters. So now I'm going to look at H and N. So here's H. I'll mark that with blue, double dash, and N. Okay, so now I know my equation for X. 6X minus 29 equals 115. I'm going to solve it real quick. 115 plus 29 divided by 6. And I know X is 24 now. Is this anything new to anybody yet? Is everybody cool? Okay, I'm just using that congruent statement. All right, so what's odd here and what could cause some issues is that I know that the final letters are S, whoops, hit it with my elbow, and F. Okay, so I cannot yet say 3y minus 1 is equal to S because S is blank. So there is a way we can get our angle measurement because I went ahead and found some variables. So let's pay attention to this triangle. and I have x is 24, that means I can find this angle by saying 6 times 24 plus or minus 29. So this angle right here is 115. It also says that right here. So now I can find angle S, because remember, inside this triangle is 180, and I have 2 of the angles. So if I subtract 36 and 115, I will get S. And I'm doing that in my calculator. And S is 29. And now I'm ready to set up my equation for the y. 3y minus 1 equals 29. Now I can do that equation because I have both of them there. I'm going to go on to the next one and then ask if you have any questions because I'm recording. Okay, so on a word problem, a lot of people, you know, I know it takes time to draw, but it does help. But if you do draw, make sure you draw. I would draw them as close to the same exact size and orientation as possible. So I made them both look like a pyramid. I'm going to label them the exact same way. Whoops. I'm going to label the first one DEF. I'm going to label the first one DEF. So I put the middle letter at the top, and I'm going to put the middle letter at the top here. Make it as easy as possible for you. So I now know, based on the way I drew the picture, that this left side is equal to this left side. This bottom side is equal to this bottom side, and this side equal to this side, because of the way I drew it. So DE is 18. That's equal to JK. Does it give us JK? It sure does. Look, JK is up here. You now know what two things are equal. So you could label it if you wanted. You don't have to. Or you could just go right to your equation of saying 3y minus 21 is 18. Okay, so let's go to EF is 23. And I know that is equal to KL because of the way I drew it. So do I have a KL? I do not have a KL. So I'm looking up in this top section, I don't have a KL. So it looks like the only option I now have is to consider DF and JL. Because DF, they give us DF and they give us JL, and that's our equation. So now you see that they tried to fool you. Or not really fool you, but they gave you something that was kind of a distraction. You did not need this 23 to solve this problem. But I want you to know I went through the process to show you that we did not use it, and that's okay. You just move on and ignore it. All right, so there is our medium and spicy CPCTC problems.